context. So, in the context of strengthening of incubator, we are working closely with Tool Room, Ludhiana, CTR Ludhiana, though our association is long back. And now it's very good to know, good to see one of the program which CTR has designed on its own, and it has launched in this challenging time, this Atmanirbhar contest, where they are looking for innovative and smart ideas, and it was well propagated. Some ideas came in, considering that incubator is situated in Ludhiana, which is not a very vibrant from startup culture as of now. But and considering this is one of their first initiative, but I would really congratulate the team who has taken it up very forward. And I look forward that how the startups that come in, or those that will be selected, how we can work again closely with CTR to link them to right kind of mentors, to help them improve their business plan, to give them technical support, even try to see if we can take them their ideas at least to the uh, financiers, to the banks and other institutions. So we will be working with some of you who are coming here with the startups and all. So we otherwise are not for profit, as I said. We don't have any stake over it, but as a part of Indo-German bilateral program, we are trying to strengthen this ecosystem. We'll continue to do it. It's very good to see the various stakeholders that have come in and joined hands. Particular mention to Tai and the team who are very active in the state of Punjab, the other institutions that have joined in, and my colleague Gaurav, who has been facilitating this entire initiative. So that's all from my side. I would wish all the participants who startups who participated in the idea, and those of you who would be presenting it. I look forward, along with CTR and other team members, to work with you in future. Thanks a lot. We could hear you.
Thank you. Thanks a lot for inviting.
Yeah, we can hear you, Mr. Madan.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we could hear you. We can hear you.
You're audible. You're audible, Mr. Madan.
Yeah, thank you. Mr. AP Sharma, Sanjeev Chawla ji, Vikram Hans from Thai, I can see Shri JK Sharma ji, and other faculty members. First, let me thank the CTR for inviting Thai and making us part of this important initiative for the startup community. In fact, I like to discuss something about Thai. We started 2003 in Chandigarh, and today Thai chapter is very vibrant, and we are continuously trying to help the ecosystem in various activities. These includes sessions, B plan competition. ThaiCon is what we do, a mega event every year. See, the purpose of TRI is to nurture and help and support young entrepreneurs and give them hand holding so that we have more and more startups coming from our region which can go to next level and contribute to economy of Punjab, contribute to the success story of Punjab, and that's the vision. And uh, in fact, I have personally gone through some of the pitches which were evaluated also by some members, our senior members from TI, and they were really very encouraging to see a variety of fields from which these uh, pitching ideas were there. So if I have to add that Ludhiana always have been the center of fulcrum of the growth in Punjab in terms of whether it's a hosiery or whether it's some machine, or today Ludhiana is known for so many things, and I'm very sure this initiative of CTR uh, will take Ludhiana to the next level, and I'm very sure Ludhiana very soon will be catching up in other streams, especially in startup, in IT, and so it's a very good initiative. And I'm say, in fact, we also thank GIZ always. They have been supporting us in Tycon also, and I'm very sure with GIZ support, this initiative will go a long way in coming out with the right objectives for which, in fact, we have been working together. And uh, uh, in fact, at TI, not only this event, but we are committed even after this, and not only here, but any kind of a hand holding, mentoring, which is required by the startups. We have a pool of I'll say our membership. So the TI is a member-driven organization. Please understand, and we all work voluntarily here, and all are very committed to work. And the people who wanted to give back to society, it's not that we are not. Nobody's trying to earn something from here. Please understand, all of us, we feel that at one point of time we did not get those kind of a mentoring and support probably when we started our businesses, maybe 20 years back, somebody started 10 years back, but today thankfully we are trying to fill that gap and to provide the support to the youngsters without any cost from our side. And let me tell you, uh, especially to the startups, today is the time to grow, because uh, the kind of support which is being provided by the government, the kind of ecosystem which is developing, I'm saying that's amazing. So many incubators in place, and what you require is zeal and enthusiasm. And my experience over the years of 20 years is that your first venture may not be as successful in the same form in which you start. So you have to continuously evolve, tweak, maybe pivot out, maybe change. And Rome was not built in. Have some patience, because, and most important, when you are starting something, you should have passion to change. You have passion to do something different. Money will come along in the journey. So remember, it's not about making money. And if your objective is to make money, sorry, very difficult to be successful. So try to bring impact, try to create difference, try to bring excellence, and I'm sure rest of the things follow as a byproduct. And that's what my experience over the years is, that it takes the only the courage actually to do something different in life. And you have to constantly work on new ideas. And obviously, I'm very sure when you grow over a period of time from startup, you will face multiple challenges, but every challenge you have to learn new things. And if you are a quick learner, you will overcome all those obstacles. And in fact, I once again thank on behalf of TI to the Central Room Ludhiana, GIZ, for making us a part of this initiative. And I once again extend my complete wholehearted support for the cause of developing the ecosystem. Thank you very much for providing me time. Thanks a lot.
Hello everyone. Am I voice audible? Yes. Hello. So this is my presentation for the space era, a COVID-19 shelter design. Is the screen visible to you all? Thank you. So this is a space era, a standard space for this pandemic era and beyond. I am Kaf Ali, architecture student from Jamia Millia Islamia. So the vision is to create a standard space prototype, maintaining all the social distancing and healthcare norms to make quarantine and isolation units, portable washroom units, hospital incremental design, portable testing units, shelter for migrant workers and healthcare workers. So the target groups are here as follows. If a person quarantining at home, there is high probability that he would infect his family members. Likewise, if a person quarantining at mass shelter, he would get contagious. Thus, there is a need to create an intermediate space for the patients and for everyone to reside under all the social distancing and healthcare norms. So the shelter can be used to reside for healthcare workers in village areas and for migrant workers as well. So our standard material is corrugated metal sheets or puff panels. We can also use shipping containers. It is according to the context. So this is the general analysis of rate of 2.5 meter by 6 meter one container structure. The cost, including the cost of construction, electricity supply, the costing is up to 1.5 lakh rupees per container. It has 30 years of lifespan. So the advantages of the container is container design is it is portable, durable, easy customization, lightweight, and the pandemic situation advantages are it requires less manpower, easy to clean, easy to scale, and multi-purpose use. Form development. So we have developed a simplest cuboidal container structure, adding the vertical space, ensuring the proper open spaces, and further multiplying and mirroring it to form one unit having 8 shelter structures comprising of 24 beds, and thus scaling up according to our requirements. This is the 3D view of a general one shelter unit having 8 container structures and 24 quarantine beds. So we have taken only 3 beds in one container to maintain social distancing and adequate space for every person. This can also be scaled up as I have discussed. So this is a general view of 4 shelter units having 32 container structures and total 96 quarantine beds. So the advantages of our prototype are it has compartmentalization and segregation of each unit, separate open areas to each unit, 3-tiered social distancing is being achieved in a particular shelter unit, breaking the transmission of virus within the quarantine facility, maintaining the proper dilution ventilation, and ensuring open green spaces for physical, mental, and psychological comfort for the people. Customization in space. We can customize the space according to our requirements. If we remove one wall at the ground floor, we can create it as a 6-bedded 2-unit module. If we remove 4 walls at first floor, we can create 1 unit module having 12 beds. And if we add up various walls, we can create separate 8-unit modules having 1 beds. The customization in usage. We can customize the shelter unit according to requirements. We can create a quarantine unit, medical unit, washroom unit. So this is the space requirement of one module, one unit having 8 containers, and total 4 units if we scale up. So the vision of space era is comprising of 6 social distancing layer. A person is achieving social distancing from its home, social distancing among the facilities, within the quarantine facility, among the shelter, among the patients, thus achieving social distancing from the core medical infrastructure and lessening the burden on the government. So the container can also be used to make portable toilet clinic, portable toilet structures. This is a standard 4 toilet units single container structure made from the same 2.5 meter by 6 meter module, and it has 4 toilet units, and each opening has a 3 meter distance between them, maintaining the social distancing and crowd distribution. It can also be used as a hospital incremental design. It can be placed in hospital parkings or open areas near hospital area, and it requires this general 6 isolation ward unit module requires 446 square meter of area. Portable testing clinic. It can be placed in hotspot areas, rural areas, tribal areas for portable clinic, temporary isolation wards, medical supply storage, quarantine, special quarantine wards, maintaining the social distancing. Thus, the 2.5 meter by 6 meter ideal container structure can be used in different ways in this COVID-19 era. It can be used to make 3-bedded quarantine shelter, 4 unit of toilet modules, portable testing clinics, and hospital incremental design. So it is a sustainable design. After COVID-19, it can also be used to make night and food shelters, village shelters, low-cost housing units, warehouse construction, army base camps in border areas, and the property can also be entitled to National Disaster Management Authority as flood relief camps and flood or any pandemic, any climatic relief camps. So this design concept is highly efficient for refugee camps. I have also proposed this to UNHCR. So it has a worldwide impact today. It is also appreciated by Dr. Ramesh Pokhriyal sir. It is also appreciated by Ministry of HRD, published in Times of India. And I have also proposed this to Assam government that this can also be used as flood relief camps. And I am very happy to say that this Make in India initiative is also appreciated worldwide. I am working with architects and organizations from Lagos, Nigeria, and we are going to make world's first COVID-19 center of 200 beds out of the shipping container from the same concept of space era. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Hello.
Can you hear me? Okay. Can you see me? Okay. I can't see myself here. Uh, Thank you for inviting me to this webinar. And I was given a topic to choose. I was allowed to choose my own topic. So uh, if you feel disappointed at the end, you can always throw a paper at me. But I'm sure I'll try my best not to disappoint you. The topic I thought I'd speak on is reflections of my entrepreneurship journey. I have been in business for nearly 30 years now. And I thought, let me not talk about stories and let me not talk about what I have done or, I mean, what experiences I could share a few of them. But given the 10 minutes that I have, I thought I'll just tell you what my reflections are, what I've learned from these 30 years of being around. I'm thankful to CTR and TAI both for giving me this opportunity, and I have always appreciated the work that CTR Ludhiana has been doing. In fact, CTR Ludhiana was the first grading yourself. So do it about it. A very important thing which I learned from one of my teachers was that never start a thought or a sentence with a no. Never start a thought or a sentence with a no. Don't spend too much time inside your own mind. You will be heartbroken in the end. These are my reflections about you. Now, when you are an entrepreneur, when you have decided to get into this journey of entrepreneurship, my second reflection, which comes from my learning and my working with people, the second reflection is that the only chemistry actually that matters is your chemistry with other people. That is the most important chemistry that matters. And it is very encouraging and very easy to have similar thinking people around you. Everyone wants that my parents, my wife, my people in my organization, they should think like me. They should be similar thinking people. This is the most dangerous trap. This is something which I would very strongly advise. It could be the bottom line of the organization. It could be something that you want to do in terms of a short term and a long term goal, but there should be a common denominator. So establish that. That is very important. These 2 points I have made are very difficult points in terms of execution when you're working with other people. Please remember that at the back of your mind. Now, I mean, if in your organization there are 50 people and the depth of decision making, the depth of management, if that stops at you, if the depth of management stops at you, then your organization is definitely going to fail. So your leadership has to make sure that the depth of decision making and the depth of management goes beyond you. That is what your leadership has to make sure in the team members. So for two people, when you're working together, for two people to be on the same page, sometimes both of them have to walk up to the page. So the page is there, the statement is there, objective is there, but they're not on the same page. You have to make sure they walk up to the page. I have only 10 minutes in this session, 10 to 12 minutes. So I'm trying to hurry up on a few steps here. And then when you're working with people, a very important thought that keeps on coming back to me through my experience is that my choice of words will reflect my intent. My choice of words will reflect my intent. And my intent and my attitude are twins in disguise. Remember that the other person will remember my words and he will also remember the intent behind it and he will relate it to my attitude. So this was my second reflection in terms of my entrepreneur journey. That was my first reflection was about myself. My second reflection was about people. Reaching out to others in business is an art. In your entrepreneurship journey, this is something that you will have to develop. Even if you don't have it, you will have to develop it. As it's an art, it's a difficult art, and unless you are able to reach out to people, social media is only a tool. Writing on social blogs is only a tool. You have to be much more effective and use much more than the tools to reach out to people. This is very, very important in terms of the entrepreneurship journey. Now, coming to business as such, I just want to reflect about a very recent story which was in the news about Mr. Ashok Soota. I'm sure all of you have heard about him. He runs a company called Happiest Minds, and he came out with a IPO, a public issue recently, which was oversubscribed by 151 times. In these COVID times, when the markets are down, when the sentiment is down, the business is down, he was able to oversubscribe his issue by 151 times. Now, the point I'm trying to make here is that in a business environment, it is not important how old you are, because Mr. Soota was 77 years old when he did this. And Mr. Soota was 77 years old when he did this. And when he left Wipro at that time, he had joined up with some other colleagues of Wipro to start a company. At that time, again, he came out with an IPO which was oversubscribed by 100 times. But despite having that success, that business did not take off. And Mr. Soota had to leave Mindtree to the other people because his decisions did not gel with the rest of the business. But today, after 20 years again, he's come back a full circle and he's on the top of the situation again. Now, the point I'm trying to make is this is something I'm going to read out. Whatever I've said earlier was my original. Here is something I'm going to read out by Edwin Markham. He says that for all your days, be prepared. For all your days, be prepared and meet them ever alike. When you are an anvil, bear. When you are an anvil, bear. When you are a hammer, strike. Basic theory in business which has to be remembered. Opportunities will come. Some may get converted, some may not. Some may never get converted. You will never see any business coming out of so many opportunities. But this is a matter of judgment and you have to decide where I have to bear, where I have to be patient, where I have to handle them carefully and wait, and where I have to strike. Now, in business, as the fourth reflection that I have in my entrepreneurship journey is that you have to watch trends. You may have very innovative ideas. You may have very good people in terms of technology, in terms of building products, in terms of building applications. But you have to also be careful about how the market behaves. Trends is something which cannot be forecasted accurately all the time. The market is a funny animal. It may not behave all the time the way it has been predicted or the way you expected. So you may decide to innovate very well. You may decide to scale up also very well, but the market may not respond. So now you have to find a way of doing enough analytics and doing enough research. The tools are available today about how to accurately predict the market. So my theory on this is that sometimes you are chasing the curve, sometimes you're riding the curve, and then you're very happy. But success lies in jumping the curve and to decide when should you jump the curve. That's very important. So this was my fifth reflection in my entrepreneurship journey. And my last reflection during my entrepreneurship journey, which I'll share with you now, is that you see, you could decide to do business for making money. You could decide business to take your inheritance, because you could inherit business. You could it would have come to you from father, grandfather, or whatever, and take it further. You could decide to do business because you want to create an impact. You could decide sometimes to do business because you don't have a choice, because I'm stuck up in a city and I can't grow in that city further in a job, so I have to do business. So I'm looking for an opportunity, and then I'll see what I can do further. So sometimes business would have a lot of vision in it. Sometimes the business would have a lot of passion and the desire to create an impact in it. Sometimes the business would have a desire to create a multiplying factor. Well, when my business is 10 times X or 100 times X, I'm going to sell it off. And that's my definition of wealth. Whatever you choose to do, there is nothing wrong with either of these directions. But just remember that while moving out of this world, someday all of us have to move out of this world. While moving out of this world, make sure that your boarding pass is not stamped wasted. That was my last thought. Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm glad I finished it. I'm glad I finished it.
Everyone, I hope I'm audible. Great. Good afternoon. It was great to listen to all the speakers before me, and I've got great insights and really surprised to see all this amazing activity happening in Ludhiana, because I belong to Ludhiana and I've been born and brought up there. It's just that last 8 years I'm in Mohali and Chandigarh. So great to see all this progress happening, and especially knowing about the GIZ uh, partnerships of Central Tool Room. So thank you for having me here. Not taking much time, I'll introduce you to what amazing things PhD Chamber of Commerce and Industries is being doing in Punjab, and being the co-chairman of the Startups Committee of Punjab and PhD Chambers. I've been connected to so many amazing people, amazing startups, amazing investors who are trying to make a change in the startup community of Punjab and the region. And especially, I mean, listening to the pitches I've just attended, I think a lot has been happening, and not only in Chandigarh Tri-City region, but also in Ludhiana. And yeah, so not taking much time, I'll introduce a bit about PhD. So PhD Chamber of Commerce and Industry has been working as a catalyst for the promotion of Indian industry. trade and entrepreneurship for the past 115 years. It is a forward-looking, proactive, and dynamic pan-India apex organization. As a partner in progress with industry and government, PhD Chamber, with a special focus on MSMEs, works at the grassroots levels with strong national and international linkages for propelling progress, harmony, and integrated development of the Indian economy. The Chamber focuses on 7 thrust areas, including industrial development, infrastructure, housing, health, education, and skill development, agriculture and agribusiness, and digital India. So, Punjab Startup Committee of PhD Chamber has organized a series of startup master classes in the last couple of years with Startup Punjab and other startup ecosystem partners in different cities of Punjab. Ludhiana, Amritsar, Patiala, Mohali, covering topics like startup valuation and funding, how to pitch a startup and protect IP, importance of IPR for MSMEs and startups, to boost IP culture in Punjab. So we just brought this thing up in association with Ministry of MSME. Government of India is setting up an Intellectual Property Facilitation Center (IPFC) at its office premises at District Shopping Complex, Ranjit Avenue, Amritsar, and one at Chandigarh. So would formally be inaugurated in last week of this month. Would provide services in patents, copyrights, trademarks, and geographical indications. So the objective of IPFC Amritsar is it's to provide awareness of intellectual property and its benefits among individual entrepreneurs and MSMEs, provide cost-effective IP-related services to individual entrepreneurs and MSMEs, compile and provide access to IP-related resources, assist MSMEs to understand opportunities and provide an avenue to effectively enter India's growth market and helping in commercialization of IP. So that's mostly about it. In any case, in case you need to connect with anyone from PhD Chambers for applying IP and trademarks, so you can get in touch with me or Ramneet, who's also here from, she's the resident director of PhD CCI Chandigarh. So yeah, that's it. And I'm really surprised by all the pitches, and I would just like to add to this session by saying that IPR is also very important for all the startups that are looking forward to. Especially, we always say that IPR is all about processes and all about getting your products registered. So I think all the startups around mechanical products, mechanical innovation, electrical innovation, especially what CTR does and all the startups in their center are trying to do, I think it's very important. So it's not that you can ignore this right now and later explore this. It's not always true, because investors, if I talk about the investors side, they're very curious to know if they are investing in a startup or a product which is IPR protected. So it becomes very important. So it's always suggested to have the IPR consultancy done right in the beginning, and something as little as trademark, which is just very nominal. I think even if you have a logo, you have a name in some industry, it has to be trademarked right at the beginning. I have seen so many examples. We come across many examples every day, rather, that someone started with a small name and thought we'll get a trademark later. And later, when the sales started coming in, the revenues start coming in, and there's a certain amount of brand image that's already been built for the startup, then someone comes in and claims the same name and takes the name away. So I've seen these examples nearby to the startups that we work. So it's very much advisable. Plus, the cost of getting a trademark for any startup is quite low right now. The government fees is around 7,000 for one trademark to get your name trademarked in a certain industry category. Plus, if you have Udyog Aadhaar certificate, which is a very easy process by the government of India, there's a website called Udyog Aadhaar. So if you get your Udyog Aadhaar MSME certificate, So you get 50% discount on this government fee of trademark. So the fee that was being charged around 7,000 for you will be cut down to 4,500 only. So this is very easy and very beneficial. You don't need tons of money. You don't need an investor to get it trademarked. So just go ahead and do it. That's what I always say to startups, and keep yourself protected. And as Mr. Vikram Hans mentioned, it's very important to stay determined and uh, be persistent in your startup journey. I think this is the best spice of it. Persistence is the best spice that you can use in your startup journey. When it comes to if I briefly describe the startup journey, I think there are very uh, few things that need to be taken care of, but they are very important. So the basic things that we look for in a startup is how well the team is placed, how good the team is. I mean, from the pitches that we've just seen, I think this is my best advice. How well the team is, and this is one of the criteria for judgment as well. I was looking at the Excel sheet wherein I had to fill the judgment, but we didn't understand much about the team that has been working. So when someone asks me, how do you find a team for your startup? So it's very simple. Just divide your startup in the basic skill sets that you require to run that startup, and just find people for those skill sets in your core team. And your core team should suggestively be of co-founders, because initially a startup is never able to pay for its employees for high-paying CEOs or high-paying CTOs. So you can have those as your co-founders. And obviously, there's a vetting that has to be done before you actually get into finding your co-founders. But that's actually like getting married. So I think you need to understand the best of as what you require and who you require in the team. The one basic principle of choosing team is everyone's goals should be aligned. It should not be that someone is completely focused on taking the company very big in a couple of years, and while the other ones are someone's planning to go to Canada, as it happens in Punjab, or someone's going for bank examinations and wants to pursue a career as a sarkari job. So I think it's very important to align your goals in a team. So that's what makes a wonderful team. Then you should be clear in the next step about your business model. What should be your business model? You should be very clear of who your competitors are and how your competitors are approaching the same business model. So this is important because one, you'll understand the market, the business model through your competitors, and secondly, you'll actually have a chance to improvise from your competitors and create a USP for yourself. So these are the two major things that you move forward with while planning for a startup. And yes, a thing has added, because as we move on, initially we used to get .com domains for sure. And initially it was a custom that if you got a .com domain, you're done with the company name and you can proceed with it. But as we move forward, .com domains have actually turned scarce, and we are not able to find those .com domains anywhere now. So it's very similar to have, even it has come to SMS services. Now these days, if you want to use SMS service as your marketing tool, you need to register a name for that SMS services first. So only then you can send an SMS marketing campaign. So it's coming to everything. So that's why it's very important to register your name and get your trademark done initially, because tomorrow you never know. You have millions of sales coming in, and someone comes in and claims your name, and you're gone, and you have to build that brand image again. So a couple of things to start with. I think everyone is good to go. And there's a very common question that comes to me every day. How do I get investors for my startups? Which is a very weird question and very common question as well. Weird because most of the questions that come up, most of the people who ask this question do not even know that when do you actually approach investors. I've come across students and budding entrepreneurs who've just had an idea in their mind yesterday, and today they are asking how to approach investors, which is very wrong. So we have a saying in Punjabi, I'll translate in English. If you want to spoil someone's child, give him a couple of lakh rupees and tell him to do nothing. So that's how it works, even in startups. If you don't know your idea is valid, it actually works, your machine is churning some revenues, So and you get money at that point, you'll be spoiled. So you need to understand that sweet spot. And there are a lot of government agencies, government policies providing funds to startups, in terms of support or loans. I think you should explore those first. The very first, obviously, the very first stage, as we all know, is friends, family, and fools. If you need some money, basic money for your startup, go to your friends, family, or impress some fools to give you some basic money so that you can actually make good use of that money and return them very soon. So that's always the first stage. And the second stage, if you've got banks, you've got government policies, nothing better than that, because you don't have an investor sitting on your head every month and asking you what are the revenues, what are the sales, because you are at a very initial stage. You cannot answer those questions, right? So in the third step, when you need to scale, so it's a very simple comprehension of this complete dialogue should be, if you have created a machine, you know how this machine works completely. You know all the spare parts, you know all the wear and tear, you know where you get your spare parts from, what is the input, what is the output in terms of revenues. And now you've been running this machine for 6 months and you know everything inside out. And now is the time when you think, I'm getting an output in amount of X and I need to 10x it. So you need to make 10 more such machines. And I think that is the point when you need to scale up and you need enormous money. And then is the point, if you do not get it from loans or banks or anywhere, you can actually get out to an investor and ask for that money. And that point, investor also understands that, this machine is working, everything is going smooth, and sees the potential in that machine. And that's the point when he feels very comfortable in investing that venture. So I think these are the major topics I could touch in 10 to 12 minutes of my time. But it was great being here. If you guys have any questions, all the startups and anyone from the network, if you need to connect with me, I'll drop in my details in the chat, and look forward to seeing another amazing pitch that's coming up. Thank you so much for having me here. Bye.
So I'm presenting my screen now. So is it visible? Is it visible? So let's start. Okay. So we are data tech solutions. Hello. We are data tech solutions. We are trying to make solutions of like medical devices, which is a very critical and like a complicated technology. And in medical devices, we come across our like a very critical device like a ventilator. So this is our team. This is first is Lokendra and other is Saurav. Lokendra is a PhD student and I'm a student. And this is our prototype. Actually, we have developed our low-cost prototype. This is basically our low-cost prototype developed only at IIT Mandi. So this prototype basically we like a low-cost prototype. So it has basically 4,000 cost, and moreover, it can control like two parameters, which are BPM, big per minute, like how many breaths a person is taking in a 1 minute. So it has a variation from 12 to 50 BPMs. Another parameter we can control is the tidal volume. Like tidal volume is the amount of the oxygen which is supplied, the amount of the air which is being supplied to the lungs of a human. So we can also vary these two things also, like the BPM and tidal volume. Another thing we can control both it. We can this ventilator can work on both AC and DC supply. And also the other like a new remote feature we have added to it, like we can control it through a IIT Mandi ventilator app, like on Wi-Fi, which works on Wi-Fi. So with the help of an app, we can control this BPM and the tidal volume also. And in the this is all about this. Also, it has an emergency cutoff, which can cut off the whole system from the power, and it do not work if there is an emergency situations. Moreover, it can also work manually, or it can work manually also. So this is our low smart ventilator, and it's a unique value of propositions. Also, we have this is our mobile app. This is like IIT Mandi ventilator app, and it is the app interface. This is our video of working of ventilator. So you can see like how our ventilator is working. So this is basically a mechanized ambu bag. So this systems compresses the ambu bag and supplies the oxygen. This is basically a emergency cutoff like this. We can stop the whole systems. And this is our app. Like you can see the app here, which can control both pedal volume. And on the right side of the emergency cutoff, there is a manual button to control the ventilator. Okay, so you can see it from here. That's how it is compressing the ambu bag. Oxygen is being supplied or air is being supplied to the patient. It is basically a prototype. Our business model is like typical cost of a ventilator. Everyone knows it varies from 2 to 5 lakh, and if we come across a highly precise ventilator, it goes around 50 lakhs. So this is the cost of a ventilator is very high. So if we come with a design of ventilator which is not like 4,000, we have developed this prototype at Mandi, so it is a 4,000. But if we go to a precise model of this ventilator, maybe it goes more than 4,000. But in the comparison of 2 to 5 lakh, this the cost we are going to have is almost less. So this is our main business model. Moreover, the cases in IIT cases in India is increasing day by day. Like 50,000 cases now it is 20 times like in previous years. Like in last 10 days, like 10 lakh cases or 20 lakh cases has come out. So it is increasing day by day by day. So this is what our like main motive, to provide a ventilator so that we can serve every patients in India. Now target customers, we try to uh, establish in our Himachal Pradesh. We are from IT Mandi, Himachal Pradesh, so we try to consider Mandi as our market. We try to contact with the governments to install a ventilator for the clinical trials in their ambulances. Then we will move to hospitals, medical stores, and on getting successful in Mandi region, we will move to Himachal region, and then we will try to cover North India, and then we go to India as a full market. Okay, so this is our target customer, and this is our project timeline. You can see we start from hiring interns. Like we are a team of two, so we don't know everything. Like we are both from mechanical engineering background, so we need some experts from IT and electronic fields to control, make our design precise. So we go to hire interns, some then product development, and we also try to get a feedback from the doctors who are handling these cases, COVID-19 cases. So from the on the basis of their feedback, what the problems they are being suffering, also a problem they are being suffering, we try to get a feedback from their side. And then we move to performance testing, like in Maharashtra or in Rajasthan. There are 2 labs, one lab in Maharashtra and also in one in Rajasthan. So we move to them, then try to do performance test, and then we move to installation phase. Like project challenges, what we are facing here right now, and we face also, like Mandi is a very remote location, and remote location means we are not able to get every supply here. We still facing this situation. Like if we order some things today, we will get 10 days later after. Also, moreover, like medical certification and testing is also our project. Patient facilities. Also, in future, what we are going to like a Hello? Now? Still not audible. Now it's audible. Hello? Is it audible, ma'am? Now? Okay, so can you tell me where I left? This one. Okay. Okay. So in project challenge, like Mandi is a remote location, so unavailable of the resources at IIT Mandi or in Mandi is not is our project challenge. Like we are not able to get the exact things at exact time. Like if you order something right, it will deliver after 10 days. Also, medical certification and testing. Like like this instrument is going to serve a human patient, so it should be precise. In India, medical standards are very high. So passing that medical standards is difficult, and we consider it as a project challenge. Moreover, low cost and product development is also a major challenge for us. Manufacturing facilities like in IIT Mani is educational institute. It doesn't have manufacturing facilities like in city Ludhiana or like in other things, like in other cities. So manufacturing facilities is also a project challenge for us. Moreover, in the future scenario, what we are going to do, like we are incorporating some sensors, some feedback loops, like the detection of how much oxygen is going to be in the how much oxygen should be in the patient's lungs, and how like if the patient is recovering, how much oxygen should be artificially being down or spread higher if a patient is critical. So these are the sensors which are going to encounter these situations. Also, provisional additional oxygen supply should be there. Moreover, the ambu bag is not degrade after some times. It will not work. It will not maintain its elasticity with time. It will lose elasticity. So ambu bag is not but we can trust to these things. So we are going to replace this ambu bag by reciprocating pump, and then we will see how it works. And so finally, what we are going to have, we are looking for the support, like people who can help in designing this product, like aesthetically as well as robust design. Moreover, performance testing and certification process, because basically we are from engineering background, so we don't know how medical certification is going to be done or how what medical standards are should be there. Moreover, collaboration with the manufacturing supply, as I told, IIT Mandi has not a good manufacturing facilities as a manufacturing hub should be. Mentorship in entrepreneurship skills and office space to run the startup. Like interns, we are going to have to have their work. We need some office space also, and helping hands from in the field of marketing. Thank you. Anyway.
Good afternoon, everyone. Am I audible? Thank you very much. Good afternoon, everyone. And I'm glad to be a part of this conversation today around Atmanirbhar entrepreneurship. So I believe I have 10 minutes. Is that right to talk? I'll try to finish it up in 5 to 7. Personally, I don't encourage conversations around women entrepreneurship. That is primarily because entrepreneurship is not a gender game. It has got nothing to do with gender. It's a game of brave heart versus weak heart. If you're brave, if you've got a strong heart, will, then play this game. If you are a slightly weak hearted person, cannot take risk, abilities are less, my suggestion to you would be do not play this game. It's a game which has lots of ups and downs, lots of challenges, but it's got definitely got nothing to do with gender. And I've been in this business for 20 years, which, normally when I tell people that I manufacture suspension for trucks, the look on their face is usually taken that what, a woman cannot be making suspension for trucks. I don't know so many cars on the roads as much as I know the trucks on the road, double axle, triple axle, tire size, the spring size, the load that it can carry. So yes, it's really a matter of interest and got nothing to do with gender. So if you permit, can I take the word gender out for now? Okay, we'll take out the word women entrepreneurship, and I would like to just speak about entrepreneurship around how it is viewed by women particularly. For women, the onus on entrepreneurship when we talk about women entrepreneurs is only on women. How they make amendments and rectifications in their own lives uh, to approach their own desire of what they wanted to achieve in life. It really, the onus is on them. We cannot have fathers pushing daughters to work, husbands pushing wives to work, until that zeal comes from inside that I want to make my life a little more meaningful, I want to pursue an ambition or a dream. There is nobody who can push a woman into entrepreneurship. Let's be very clear on that part. I often meet women who tell me that I want to do something of my own. And, when they start having this conversation and I say, join your husband's work, father's work, take the first step towards exploring this world. Their first conversation is Thursday is a kitty class, Saturday is my Zumba class, I can't go on Wednesday and I can't go on Thursdays. And then Saturday to definitely nahi kyunki meri Zumba class hai. Now, you cannot pursue activities of this kind and then be saying, I want to be an entrepreneur. An entrepreneur has to give up a lot of things in their life. They have got to manage a lot of things in their life to be able to achieve that goal of being successful. So, I personally don't have Zumba class or a kitty class or any of that. And I know what it takes to be sitting on the seat from 9:30 till 7:30 in the evening, non-stop, sometimes not having lunch. I don't know what exists.
उन्हें लगा रहे हैं दूसरा no I'm back there was my connection was lost now I am audible hello hello now I think it's clear. So I think we discussed about the prototyping. So if GIZ or CTR or other institute like this create a prototyping shop where youngsters can come and they can do simple prototyping. So even government is keen to fund these type of project. I think it will be really helpful. So next is validation of products. We even if we work with MNCs, they sometimes take year on years, and even if a new product is fitted on a bike, the president they have a very systemized mechanism to validate those products. So for youngsters, we don't have any mechanism to validate the products, and most of the products sometimes they fail in the market. So validation mechanism should be in place, or these types of institute, or with the help of government, we should make a system. Then forward and backward linkages. For a corporate, it is easy to set up the forward linkages, how to market the product. If they need some costly products, even they are not able to get the supplies because nobody trusts a new company. So even if some collaboration is required, some testing is required, dealer network is required. So they face lot of challenge in this. So here our association like CICU and other CII, other association, they can help the young team to how they can make over these problems, or we can support them also. So this is one of the area need to be worked. And then reverse engineering is also one of the major area. We can even so many products other than innovating the product, we can do the reverse engineering. I tell you my story. There are many youngsters. So when I joined the business, yeah, it was 1982, 83, 84. The bikes come, Japanese bikes come. Government opened the change the policy, and lot of company, Hero Honda, Maruti, Eicher, Nissan, so many companies come, and at that time we developed few products which are like PVC coated clips, simple products, but not available in the market, no supplier available in the market. And with these products, I think we entered around 10 OEMs in 2, 3 years, where we were, my father was having a bicycle component business. So I think if you keep your eyes open that which product to develop, product selection is very important. So these are my views. I will not take much of the time. And thank you very much for giving me this opportunity.
Hello, good afternoon, everybody. Am I audible? I'll just share the screen, please. Just give me a moment, please. I'm just sharing the screen. Ma'am, please let me know when the presentation is visible. Oh, okay. Good afternoon, everybody. First of all, thank you so much for giving us this opportunity to present ourselves here today. Uh, as I'm told, I have about 7 to 10 minutes. I'll firstly quickly introduce the team. My name is Ivan Sreet Singh Bajwa, and we are two of us. My partner, he is Krishnan K. Gopal Krishnan Iyer, and both of us are ex-Indian Air Force officers. We were both squad leaders in the Air Force, served in the Air Force for about 11 years plus. However, after leaving the Air Force, we both went to IIM Indore. We're both IIM graduates. From there, we're working in the corporate world. And after having a stint there, we've started to, come out and, as a lot of people have brought out, become entrepreneurs. So that's the way forward. Okay, so I would be dividing my presentation into three phases. The first stage is that the problems that are being faced by the country and the people worldwide. That is plastics, uh, and basically, the burning of the crops, especially in the northern part of the country. The second is the solution to it. How do we plan to go about it? And thirdly, the market we would like to capture. So, giving a brief introduction, I would like to, in the next slide, I'm just showing you the single-use plastic waste as it is brought out that, according to the estimates, the per capita annual plastic consumption is, about double to 20 kgs by 2022, and it is going to increase further. The other thing, what we see a lot in Punjab and Haryana, especially, and even in UP, some other parts of the country also is stubble burning, wherein surplus crop residue available is there in India. The estimates tell us that about 145 million tons a year is there, out of which 92 tons is burned every year. The two crops of rice and wheat are produced largely in the northern states, especially. The economic survey of 2019-20 is showing us a lot of concerns. Most of the burning happens during the Kharif season, as rice is the major crop. October 2019 estimates tell us that the PM10 level was about 384, which is very, very big in number. 50% contribution is made by the states of Punjab, Haryana, UP, and MP. In Punjab, however, slowly and steadily, the stubble burning has gone down. It is reduced drastically, but it is still very, very alarming. As we are all aware, there are a lot of environmental health risks, especially during the winter season. We see a lot of smog and haze in the national capital region. The temperatures have increased drastically. The glaciers are melting, and so on and so forth. In the next slide, as you can see, this is basically, the unfriendly fire. It's a data of the ICAR Space Laboratory. The maximum is there in the state of Uttar Pradesh, and Haryana and Punjab are also contributing to it. Coming on to the disposable waste, consumption of disposable tableware is breaking all records worldwide. There are a lot of trends, as somebody was talking in one of the presentations about takeaway food, how it started. That everybody wants to have the comfort sitting at their place or at their place of work. So you have these startups like Zomato, Swiggy, etc., and the demand of packaging is increasing day in and day out. And especially with COVID coming in now, we are going to see a lot of work from home, and the culture is changing slowly and steadily. The government has also launched the Swachh Bharat mission. India has enforced total ban on single-use plastic starting 5th September 2019, and the government aims to, have a plastic-free country by the year 2022. We try to recycle it though. However, the number is not very good. About 60% is a hypothetical figure which says is recycled, but the record says it is globally it is just about 20%. Coming to the second part of the presentation, that is our product, that is disposable tablewares using wheat and paddy straw. The vision and key value proposition of our product is basically for the street food vendors initially, for takeaway restaurants to start with. We are basically an eco-friendly alternative for all plastic and thermocol tableware. The aim is to have our product, which is 100% green, where there is no plastic involved as such totally, which is made of wheat and paddy straw agro waste, as I had covered initially at the start of the presentation. And side by side be very, very cost effective, and which it gives an alternative to shift the business model in the food industry. So the aim is to move from waste to wealth. Why green dine are basically the choice is that, as I just covered earlier, that we have to be 100% biodegradable. I would be in the next few slides I'll be presenting the block diagram also, how we plan to go about it. We do not want any plastic in our product. With the agro waste, stubble and straw, the product can be sustainable. Aim is to make it eco-friendly. There should be no petro element at all. Combustible cups, which should be totally certified, 100% compostable. The product, as we aim, should be sturdy and heavy duty, which can be durable, and which can take heavy food stuff as well. The aim is to launch the product which is microwavable and is very, very safe to use in the refrigerator as well, because that is the need of the hour. The process includes using pulp made of crop agro waste to form disposable flatwares. The material would be in the second and the third stage molded, dried, heat pressed to give a desired shape. I would be covering that subsequently. 100% biodegradable product is what we're aiming within 45 to 60 days, and which can be used in restaurants, functions, and any kind of food stalls. This is a block diagram of how we plan to manufacture our product. So basically, as you can see, it is a hydra pulping machine. It can be done in a cooker also. We've tried it at home, and basically get it into a shredded form. After that, you boil it. As I brought it out earlier, we had tried it out at our place also. It is very much possible. You boil it, pressure cook it, and it forms into a pulp kind of a material. Basically, once it is formed into a pulp, it is pressure molded, and a look is given of whatever is desired, whatever we desire. So basically, we are moving from waste to wealth, as I covered earlier. These are the container boxes. These are examples of the container boxes, what we plan to launch and manufacture. As you can see on the screen, different types of products. The business model canvas is with the key partners would be the farmers. We would of course be dependent on technology. The logistics, wholesalers, activities would include raw material processing, manufacturing, packaging, inventory management, financial and accounting. As I had covered earlier, the value proposition is for the street food vendors, alternatives for the plastic thermocol tableware, and the product needs to be 100% green, which is suitable and very, very cost effective. The customer relationship is, we have to build that relationship slowly and steadily to move away from waste management in the corporate sector, basically sell ourselves on the social media, YouTube channels. That's the way forward. Going on to the next slide. The target customers can be segmented on the basis of the product type, application, and geography. Initially, the plan of the venture is to launch the product in places like Chandigarh. And why I say Indore is one of the places in India where there are a lot of street food available. Me and my partner, we spent 1 year in Indore in the Indian Institute of Management there. I myself belong to Chandigarh. Even Chandigarh, as you know, a lot of people had brought out a lot of street food is available in this part of the region as well. Going further, As covered in the slide, the online segment in India is anticipated to register a CAGR of about 7.5% in the forecast period. It would change lifestyles. As it is, the lifestyles are being changed with the COVID setting in. There is a lot of increase in urbanization. The rural area is slowly and steadily reducing. There is a lot of urbanization happening. The e-commerce sector is expanding a lot, especially the hospitality. In one of the surveys, it was told that Swiggy and Zomato are each reportedly delivering about 28 million orders a month. Going further, there are a few competitors. We've been in touch with them a little bit as well. However, they are facing their own problems. The financial forecast, what we've made is basically a break-even analysis of the trends in the present market. However, once we launch our product, we do not foresee that the product should be more expensive than 1 to 1.5 rupees. That is what is the aim. Being in these services, we've been serving the country, come up with a solution and serve the country further. So this trend is basically with the present market. I'm sure this would reduce and go down as and when the product is launched. As I had just covered shortly earlier, the advertisement and marketing has to be through the social media, YouTube, blogs, and so on and so forth. Going further, the route to market and distribution is covered. Network of wholesalers. It has to be a B2B institutional channeling, distributors and retail partners. Online stores have to be targeted. Exhibitions and trade fairs, would be another way out. This is the third part of the presentation that I'm covering. Opportunities in this slide, this kind of market is having a lot of scope, especially in the Asia Pacific region. A lot of startups are coming up who are, getting into the food business. And as covered earlier, the work from home, ordering from food is the new normal. The fate of the non-recycled plastic takes a lot of time to get decomposed. 79% of plastic in landfills and natural environments is causing a lot of problems. We've had a lot of earthquakes, natural calamities because of plastics, even the floods, which came in Uttarakhand in the year 2014. One of the studies says it's that the contribution of the plastic and the waste material was almost more than 25%. India generates about 25,940 tons of plastic waste every day. This is close to the weight of 9,000 Asian elephants, as you can see on the slide. Half of this comes from the metro cities of Delhi, Mumbai, Bangalore, Chennai, and Kolkata. With Green Dine, plastics users should be aim is to provide them feasible alternatives, which are not costly, as I covered earlier. Industry, we have to work with the industry and push this thing into R&D, work on packaging alternatives, provide a timeline, and just launch the product slowly and steadily and give a alternative to plastic-free usage. With this, I've finished my presentation. Thank you very much.
Thank you. So I'll just start with my presentation. Will that be fine? Just a moment.
Good afternoon, everybody. Is the presentation visible to all? Yeah, is the presentation visible? Hello? Is the presentation visible? My mic is on mute, is it? Just a moment. No, it, but, but I've unmuted it from my side.
Sound is very less.
Is it better? Is it better? Is it better now? All right. And are you able to see my presentation? Okay. Just a moment. Give me a minute. So, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Atul, and I run a platform called eGrowth, which stands for exponential growth. I'd take a couple of minutes to share the journey of eGrowth. This would be helpful for the new entrepreneurs to maybe look at some ways how you can improve your go-to-market or improve how to connect with your market, right? So we are eGrowth, the leverage platform. We are the world's first bad ecosystem. When I say bad, it means business advisory and business development. We're a dynamic network of businessmen, entrepreneurs, startup founders. And our mission is to empower and enable businesses. So I'm a corporate guy who spent around 20 years in the corporate space. And sometime in 2014, I was in this experience that while I get my salary at the end of the month, the small business owner who's out there, he is putting everything what he has on stake, and yet he has to fend for himself. With this thought, I started in 2014. While I had a day job, I used to work with a Fortune 50 company. And along the journey, we grew to a community of around 35,000 business owners as of today. The larger picture is, since we're talking about startups, we should start with a design. For that, the model that I proposed is called as the leverage model. Move on to development. The model that I proposed there is called the eGrowth framework. The eGrowth platform is based on the eGrowth framework. I'll speak to you a little bit more about it in the next slide. And then look at diversifying it. And as they say, the more you sweat in peace, the less you bleed in war. So I really recommend that you put in a lot of effort in the initial phases rather than getting across a problem and then trying to identify that. Okay. eGrowth framework primarily talks about three elements: collaboration, excellence, which has four pillars to it: learning, innovation, operations, and networking. And the third piece is opportunities. So for me, a CEO is somebody who's consistently looking for opportunities to collaborate, excel in his business, and looking at newer or greater opportunities. On this framework, we created a complete community of small businesses. And to create this community, what I did was I took to the roads. I traveled between 2017 and 2019. I drove around 80,000 kilometers across the length and breadth of the country with just one question: what is it that I can do for you? So what you see here are some of the meetings or engagements which I've done across the cities in India. All right, the one in the middle, this was the first ever event that I created in 2014. It was called eGrowth at Biz. This is the event which changed my entire trajectory from being a corporate lad I wanted to be somebody who contributes to small business owners, right? 2017 February, I came to Punjab. I spent around 15 days in Punjab. And these are some images from Punjab. I also gave a lecture at a college in Jalandhar, which was Saint Soldiers Masters College. So that this was a coverage in Punjab Kesari that day. I also went across to West India. So for around 20 days, I covered around 7,000 kilometers across the states of Rajasthan, Gujarat, Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh. And there's some images from there. We also partnered with Startup India in 2018 for their Uttar Pradesh Yatra. And these are some images. So what they did was they organized boot camps across 5 cities in the state of Uttar Pradesh, which was Lucknow, Gorakhpur, Sultanpur, Kanpur, and Noida. We participated in that. We worked with startups so that we could understand what a business owner needs, and we could contribute how they could speed up their journey. And then in 2019, we participated in a boot camp for the tribals in the state of Jharkhand. So here you see some images. So incidentally, maybe somebody would recognize the people in the top left photograph. He is the general manager of DIMSME state of Jharkhand. Okay, so they also came for the final day event. So here what we did was we worked on creating crops in the lesser used land. And today I'm happy to announce that this community is exporting fresh vegetables, organic vegetables to Middle East. All right. So these kind of opportunities or these kind of possibilities are there if we start looking at more innovative ways of doing things. We have been doing a lot of, I've been a TIE member, I've been a TIE charter member, and have participated in a number of talks with them. The image on the top left is from the office of the Commissioner of Industries, Shimla, Himachal Pradesh. The one in the middle is from Kanpur, Uttar Pradesh. One on the bottom middle right is Udaipur. Okay. I also organized a boot camp with Dalmia Bharat Group. Okay, and then there were some events for women entrepreneurs. These are some of the events what we've done specifically for women entrepreneurs. I know Mini does not prefer to speak specifically for women entrepreneurs, but yes, women are an integral component of our society, and we need to look at how is it that we can cultivate a new way of being. We are responsible for having pushed the woman into the home, and it is our responsibility to give an environment where a woman entrepreneur can flourish. And we don't need to say whether it's a man or a woman, and we are able to say entrepreneurs after that. So we've been organizing events around the Women Day for past 3 years, 2018, 2019, and 2020. So just before the lockdown, we conducted an event in Delhi. Okay. So we've also been looking at how is it that we can add to the enterprises by way of consulting or by way of looking at how they design their business. So this was last year when I launched a model called the leverage model, which helps you to design your business. Okay, some media coverage. What is it that we do? We organize knowledge sharing sessions, business networking, buyer seller meetings, business delegations. We enable entrepreneurship. We enable trainings and workshops as well as trade shows. Okay. This CEO Talks has been a success story of the lockdown. So on 24th of March, our Prime Minister, he declared the lockdown, and I declared the lock open. So starting 25th of March till the last week of August, we were organizing CEO Talks every day wherein an entrepreneur would come and speak. And even Mr. Sardar Upkar Singh ji was a speaker a number of times. So thanks a lot for taking time out, sir, then. So we organized 152 talks without a break. And these were some of the topics on which we spoke. So sales and marketing, branding, learning and development, industrial engineering, information technology, business automation, business opportunities, accounting and compliance, legal compliance, investment options, and the likes. All this got created during lockdown. The point what I would like to make here is, whether it is a lockdown or a flood situation or anything else, there are opportunities there, provided we are looking at contributing to our customers, to our beneficiary. I would not say customers. All right. We had a number of panel discussions. CICU was a part of it a number of times, and there were other organizations. So we had, I think, 12 or 13 panel discussions during this period. We have something called the inner circle. This is where we invite some of the larger businesses and who meet every Friday. The intent is to create an ecosystem where we can work on problem solving, we can work on exchanging opportunities, second degree contacts, knowledge sharing, and also to look at opportunities to network with other industry bodies. This is our website, egrowth.org. I invite you to come and have a look here. This is an ecosystem where you can come and promote yourself. You can create your business profile, your personal profile. You can post blogs and articles so that people can read about you and start discovering. So this is a discovery platform. Okay, you can post your requirements and offers. So these are classifieds, and you can also list events so that more people can participate. So as of now, more than 18,500 entrepreneurs have already listed themselves on the platform, and it is growing every day. Some of our resources are where you can reach out to eGrowth. Our portal is egrowth.org. Our social media handle is egrowth.org. We are there on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, WhatsApp, as well as on Telegram. How is it that you can associate? You can search for egrowth.org on social media and get connected. I would recommend that you subscribe to our YouTube channel. As of now, more than 400 videos are there. These include some of the trainings which we've organized in the past. They come on varied subjects. Some of the speakers who come and shared their life journeys, they've shared how they built their businesses. All that is available. Do come and have a look. All right. And then you have the choice to subscribe to eGrowth. All right. And we have a networking meeting on every Tuesday at 7 p.m., which happens on Zoom. This is where you get to interact with other business owners, network with them, exchange contacts, and build your network. Right? So this is free. This is available for everybody. And the last thing what I'd like to share about is on the 27th of September, which is a Sunday, I'm leading a talk which is called Ignite Your Sales Funnel. Here, the angle would be talking from a design perspective. How can you design a self-priming sales funnel, wherein your prospects, they start discovering you rather than you chasing your prospects. On Sunday, 27th September, I'll be glad to speak to you more on this.
Am I audible? Thank you. नमस्कार. आज के इस आत्मनिर्भर इनोवेशन चैलेंज 2020 के वेबिनार में मैं आप सबका एमएसएमई डेवलपमेंट इंस्टीट्यूट लुधियाना और मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ एमएसएमई गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया की ओर से आप सबका स्वागत करता हूं. आज के प्रोग्राम के मुख्य अतिथि श्री चावला सर, श्री एपी शर्मा सर, जीएम सीटीआर और पीएचडी चैम्बर ऑफ कॉमर्स के रिप्रेजेंटेटिव, जीआईजेड के रिप्रेजेंटेटिव और वेरियस एसोसिएशन के रिप्रेजेंटेटिव. तो आज के इस प्रोग्राम में बहुत से स्टार्टअप्स ने अपने अपने इनोवेशंस के बारे में बताया है और मैं समझता हूँ ये तो एक टिप ऑफ आइसबर्ग है जो कि हम बहुत थोड़े लेवल पे ही इसमें आज के वेबिनार में कवर कर सके हैं। इस तरह के बहुत से आइडियाज हैं जो आगे लेके आना है और उनको नर्चर करना है। इसके लिए CTR और मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ MSME की इंक्यूबेशन स्कीम है और CTR भी लुधियाना में बहुत इस पे काम कर रहा है और बहुत से आइडियाज जो मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ MSME की एक इंक्यूबेशन स्कीम है उसमें होस्ट इंस्टीट्यूट भी काफी रजिस्टर हुए हैं और उनमें आइडियाज भी रजिस्टर हुए हैं और उन पे भी आगे काम चल रहा है। तो MSME DI लुधियाना की तरफ से मेरे को जो इस आज के इस प्रोग्राम में कुछ स्कीम्स के बारे में बोलने के लिए कहा गया है जो MSME मिनिस्ट्री की स्कीम्स हैं और एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप के लिए वो कैसे कैसे स्कीम्स बेनिफिशियल हो सकती हैं। तो मैं सबसे पहले ये कहना चाहूंगा कि एक प्रीवियस स्पीकर्स ने कहा था कि उद्योग आधार मेमोरेंडम UAM के बारे में कहा था, तो मैं ये कहना चाहूंगा कि उद्योग आधार मेमोरेंडम की जगह अभी उद्यम रजिस्ट्रेशन आ गया है। तो उद्यम रजिस्ट्रेशन करने के लिए आपको udyamregistration.gov.in पे जाके अपने आप को रजिस्टर करना है और ये फ्री ऑफ कॉस्ट है और आप खुद भी कर सकते हैं। इसमें कोई ज्यादा ऐसा कॉम्प्लिकेशन नहीं है। लेकिन जो प्रीवियस उद्योग आधार मेमोरेंडम में रजिस्टर्ड हैं उनको भी इसमें ट्रांसफर होना पड़ेगा। लेकिन 31 मार्च 2021 तक जो पुराना उद्योग आधार मेमोरेंडम है वो वैलिड है, वो वही एक्टिव रहेगा। इस उद्यम रजिस्ट्रेशन में के साथ एक न्यू MSME डेफिनेशन भी आई है। उस नई डेफिनेशन में चेंजेस की गई हैं। हमारे माइक्रो का लेवल भी बढ़ाया गया, जो कि पहले 25 लाख था, तो अब उन सबको बढ़ाया गया, माइक्रो का और स्मॉल का और मीडियम का। तो टोटल ये टर्नओवर बेसिस और प्लांट एंड मशीनरी के बेसिस पे अभी लेके गया। अभी दोनों पॉइंट्स, दोनों पैरामीटर्स लेने हैं इसके माइक्रो, स्मॉल एंड मीडियम कैटेगरी आपको डिफाइन करने के लिए। तो मैं ये कहना चाहूंगा कि उद्यम रजिस्ट्रेशन अभी जो एग्जिस्टिंग MSMEs हैं जिनके पास UAM है या EM Part 2 है, उनको इसमें चेंज करना पड़ेगा उद्यम रजिस्ट्रेशन के लिए। और इसके आगे फिर अभी जैसे अभी बात हुई है कि बहुत से आइडियाज नए आए हैं, तो उन आइडियाज को मार्केट में लॉन्च करने के लिए हमारे कुछ फाइनेंशियल असिस्टेंस की जरूरत होती है। तो एक प्रीवियस स्पीकर ने पहले भी कहा कि ऑलवेज ये बेनिफिशियल रहता है कि बैंक्स के थ्रू हमें फाइनेंस करवाया जाए। तो बैंक्स के थ्रू लेने के लिए एक हमारी मिनिस्ट्री की जो सब्सिडी की स्कीम के साथ में है, वो जो काफी चल रही है और काफी लोग इसका फायदा भी ले रहे हैं, प्राइम मिनिस्टर एम्प्लॉयमेंट जनरेशन प्रोग्राम। प्राइम मिनिस्टर एम्प्लॉयमेंट जनरेशन प्रोग्राम में क्या है कि ये 25 लाख तक की स्कीम है फर्स्ट लेवल में। सेकेंड लेवल में ये यही, और इसको आप 1 करोड़ तक ले जा सकते हैं। तो इस 25 लाख की स्कीम अपना 25 लाख में जिसमें 60-40% की रेशियो है प्लांट एंड मशीनरी एंड वर्किंग कैपिटल। तो इसके लिए pmegp.gov.in पे जाके आप लोग इस पे रजिस्टर कर सकते हैं और इस पे आप अप्लाई कर सकते हैं। तो ये विद इन 1 वीक इसका प्रोसेसिंग होके आपके कंसर्न बैंक को एप्लीकेशन फॉरवर्ड कर दी जाती है। तो ये एप्लीकेशन अगर रूरल एरिया में है तो है हमारी जो गवर्नमेंट की परचेज जो है वो सिर्फ MSME सेक्टर से ही होनी है। इसमें भी 25% का एनुअल गवर्नमेंट प्रोक्योरमेंट का 25% टारगेट जो है वो MSME सेक्टर से लिया गया है, MSME सेक्टर से ही लेना है। और उसका फर्दर 3% जो है वो स्पेशली वुमेन एंटरप्रेन्योर से ही गवर्नमेंट का प्रोक्योरमेंट करना है उसमें। तो गवर्नमेंट के ये परचेज उसमें काफी ये हेल्पफुल है न्यू एंटरप्रेन्योर के लिए, अपना जो मार्केट देखने के लिए ये एक अच्छा गवर्नमेंट परचेज प्रोग्राम जो है एक बहुत बढ़िया प्रोग्राम है। और उसके बाद ट्रेड स्कीम है। ट्रेड स्कीम में जैसे हमने सप्लाई कर दिया, सप्लाई करने के बाद हमें जैसे 45 टू 60 डेज तक पेमेंट नहीं आती है, तो ट्रेड स्कीम में अगर हम रजिस्टर कर पा रहे हैं अपने आप को, और गवर्नमेंट ने मैंडेटरी कर दिया जो 500 करोड़ से टर्नओवर के ऊपर की कंपनियां हैं वो सब ट्रेड्स पे रजिस्टर होंगी। अगर ऐसी कंपनियों के साथ हम लोग बिजनेस कर रहे हैं तो हमारा हम ट्रेड्स प्लेटफॉर्म पे जाके अपना क्रेडिट बैंक से ले सकते हैं। हमें इमीडिएटली वर्किंग कैपिटल के लिए वो पैसा मिल जाएगा, तो हमें वेट करने की जरूरत नहीं है। बैंक का और उस बायर कंपनी के साथ उनका आपस में उनका अपना सिस्टम चलता रहेगा, और आपको एमएसएमईज को इसमें वर्किंग कैपिटल की कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं आएगी। तो वो इसमें ट्रेड्स प्रोग्राम में, ट्रेड स्कीम में भी मैं चाहूंगा कि आप लोग ट्रेड्स प्लेटफॉर्म पे भी जरूर रजिस्टर करें। और इसके बाद एक बहुत कॉमन इश्यू आता है डिलेड पेमेंट का। डिलेड पेमेंट बहुत से हमारे इंस्टीट्यूट में भी लोग विजिट करते हैं, एमएसएमईज विजिट करते हैं कि हम लोगों ने सप्लाई कर दिया, मटेरियल सप्लाई कर दिया, और उसके बाद 6 मंथ 12 मंथ इवन अप टू 3 इयर्स हमारा पेमेंट वहां पे अटक गया है ड्यू टू सम रीजन। उन्होंने कोई ना कोई रीजन डाल दिया है, और रीजन डालने की वजह से वो सब अटक गया, और अभी वो हमारा फोन भी नहीं उठा रहे हैं, ईमेल का रिस्पॉन्ड नहीं कर रहे हैं। तो उसके लिए गवर्नमेंट ऑफ पंजाब ने बहुत अच्छा एक काम किया है कि डिस्ट्रिक्ट लेवल फैसिलिटेशन काउंसिल बना दी है। मैक्सिमम स्टेट्स में ये स्टेट लेवल फैसिलिटेशन काउंसिल है, लेकिन पंजाब में 22 डिस्ट्रिक्ट्स और एक चंडीगढ़, यूटी चंडीगढ़ में डिस्ट्रिक्ट लेवल फैसिलिटेशन काउंसिल बन गए हैं। और इस डिस्ट्रिक्ट लेवल फैसिलिटेशन काउंसिल में आपको समाधान पोर्टल पे जाना है, एक समाधान.gov.in। ये भी डीसी एमएसएमई की साइट पे सारे ये मिल जाएंगे जो मैं बता रहा हूँ। तो समाधान पोर्टल पे आप जाके अपना ग्रीवांस और अपना सारा जो भी डिलेड पेमेंट के रिगार्डिंग है उस पे अपलोड करेंगे, तो वो सारा आपको 3 या 4 दिन में रिवर्ट बैक आएगा आपको मैसेज, और सामने वाली पार्टी को जो रिस्पोंडेंट है उसको नोटिस चला जाएगा। नोटिस चला जाएगा तो वो रिस्पॉन्ड करेगा उसमें। इसमें ये एक और चीज है कि इसके 3 से 4 कॉन्सिलेशन होंगे। 3 से 4 कॉन्सिलेशन के बाद अगर नहीं आपका कॉन्सिलेशन होता है तो फिर अवार्ड कर दिया जाएगा। वो अवार्ड से अगर बायर कंपनी ऊपर हायर कोर्ट में जाके चैलेंज करना चाह रही है तो उसको 70% का वहां पे गारंटी देना पड़ेगा, तब उसका कोर्ट में केस एक्सेप्ट होगा। तो एमएसएमईज के लिए ये बहुत ही अच्छा टूल है जो उनकी डिलेड पेमेंट है। हाँ, मैं ये मानता हूं कि थोड़ा सा रिलेशन में इसमें दिक्कत आती है, तो उसके अकॉर्डिंगली हमें देखना पड़ेगा, और हमारे जो ऑर्डर्स हैं, एग्रीमेंट्स हैं, वो अकॉर्डिंगली हमें बनाने चाहिए। तो ये भी एक बहुत ही अच्छा पोर्टल है समाधान.gov.in, जिसपे हम लोग अपनी डिलेड पेमेंट के इश्यूज को रिजॉल्व करवा सकते हैं गवर्नमेंट के उससे। और इसके बाद अभी एक रिसेंटली champions.gov.in एक गवर्नमेंट मिनिस्ट्री ने एक नया पोर्टल लॉन्च किया है। तो इस पे भी अगर आपका किसी भी एमएसएमईज का कोई भी ग्रीवांस है किसी भी तरह का, तो वो ग्रीवांस उस पे डाला जा सकता है। तो इसके लिए स्टेट लेवल कंट्रोल रूम बनाए गए हैं ऑल ओवर स्टेट्स में। तो जो कि पंजाब का एमएसएमई डीआई लुधियाना में स्टेट कंट्रोल रूम बनाया गया है। तो वो सारे ग्रीवांसेस हमारे पास आते हैं, तो हम लोग उसको अकॉर्डिंगली जो जिस डिपार्टमेंट से रिलेटेड है उस डिपार्टमेंट को आगे कांटेक्ट करके और उनका वो ग्रीवांस रिजॉल्व करने की कोशिश करते हैं। तो और कोई इसके बारे में कोई क्वेश्चन, कोई क्वेरी है तो प्लीज पूछ सकते हैं। थैंक यू वेरी मच सर। सर आपका ऑडियो बंद है। सीटीआर ऑडियो बंद है।
Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. So I am Sahil Makkad. I am a chartered accountant by profession, and I am also Indian School of Business alumni. So I am a TIE Chandigarh member. So I was made part of this, and thank you very much, CTL Ludhiana and TIE Chandigarh for making me part of this event. So rather, I got a chance to evaluate all the 2025 presentations which were there. So I evaluated them also earlier. So that also I was interested in, and in this datum tech solutions, I already showed my interest into that before this event. Already I showed my interest into that. So all the three like Space Era, Datum Tech Solutions and Green Dent were very good products and events. They're doing things, but I really myself as an individual, I myself like that Datum Tech Solutions. So if they require any of their guidance, funding, and all, so if they can present me with more of details, because my many of the questions are unanswered right now. So it was just a brief project. So if they can get answer my all my queries, and also I can help them in getting funding, strategies, policies in space and all whatever they require and all. So that's a thing I would say right now. Maybe all any other startup also, if they need a guidance, and I am ready to help to them also, because I've been into finance and funding things over here in Chandigarh since many years.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much from Green Dine. Thank you so much.
Thank you.